July 4th, 1950, the Sunset Drive-In premiered their brand new playground with a great merry-go-round. Now, my dad had a lumberyard just down the street, and he helped Mr. Nikolic build the stands and the movie theater, the drive-in. We were there for the grand opening on July 4th, 1950 of the playground, and as a baby, a little over 2 years old, I got to ride on the merry-go-round the day it opened. Many times Dad would talk about that over the years, and even when I would take girlfriends to the Sunset Drive-In, I would always ride on the merry-go-round. Well, about 1983, Mr. Nikolic closed the Sunset Drive-In because inside movie theaters were doing much better. Over the years, I watched the weeds grow up. The whole playground was gone like instantly, except for the merry-go-round. And I kept watching weeds grow up, and I kept seeing it get rustier and rustier. And I kept stopping in every time I saw Mr. Nikolic there, and I tried to talk him into selling me the merry-go-round. And he said, that was his favorite piece. He really wasn't sure if or when he was ever going to sell it. So I would travel, and as I would travel, every time I'd come back home, I'd drive by and I'd ask him again. He keeps saying, I'm thinking about it, I'll let you know. Well, this went on for several years, like 4, 5, 6 years. So finally, one Friday night, I caught him there. He was about ready to leave. And I said, have you decided on that merry-go-round yet? And he said, no, I think I'm going to have to think about it longer. And I got mad and I slammed his door. I told him, I said, you're good, rather have that rust and go to waste than to have it be saved so little kids can ride on it. And I left. Well, by the time I got home, Mr. Nikolic had called me. And he says, tell you what, I'll sell it to you for $1,200 cash. I said, you stay right there. So I drove down there and paid him the $1,200 for it. On Sunday, I went down with house jacks, and I jacked this 16-foot merry-go-round up 4 feet in the air and slid it onto a trailer that I had and got ready at about 3 o'clock. I figured, state police post changes at 3, so I should be able to go up 41 without getting a permit. Well, about 3 o'clock, I pulled up and started heading up north on 41 with this big merry-go-round. 41 was closed behind me, and all of a sudden I looked back and there were hundreds of cars behind me. Roberts Stadium or something must have just let out, and I could only get up to 5 miles an hour. And I finally made it up to Hips Nursery where I turned to go to my campground, and I was so relieved. Well, then on Monday, I got Joe Boland, who had a backhoe and a big dump truck, because I wanted the original post. So when we dug it up, we found out there was a 4 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot cube of concrete on this post. I said, dig it up. So Joe Boland brought the post with the 4 foot by 4 foot concrete up to my campground. I then went over to Minnie's and rented a jackhammer, and I jackhammered the 4 foot concrete off of the post because I wanted to salvage the post. So lo and behold, I formed a 4 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot cube hole, and I called a concrete truck, and we poured this 4 foot cube of concrete so it would be just like it was originally. Well, the next problem was the bearing was not in very good shape. So I went down to Tri-State Bearing and took the bearing I had, and lo and behold, they had bought an old inventory out of a bearing place that had gone out of business, and they gave me a 1950 brand new bearing that had been in stock for 40 years. So I put this merry-go-round together. Well, the day is July 4th, 2021. So that's over 70 years. So today, I brought my son and 2 of my grandkids by, so 3 generations of us could still ride on this merry-go-round one more time and enjoy all the joy that it gives everybody. There have been tens of thousands of people that have ridden on this merry-go-round, and if you rode on it in the past and want to ride on it, come on, stop by Weather Rock Campground and get on there. If you need help, I'll push you. Just think of all the fun, the thousands, tens of thousands of kids that have ridden on this merry-go-round over 70 years. And it's still going on July 4th, the anniversary of when Mr. Nick Lick opened it up at the Sunset Drive-In in Evansville. Yeehaw! Do you like it? And it's one of your favorite rides, isn't it?